Hi, welcome back to my channel. This book review for The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which will be out June 21st, and I am making this video on May 2nd. I'm making this video May 2nd because I read it yesterday and I don't want to lose any of my connectivity, like my feelings, my emotions, or whatever to the book. So I'm just going to make some of these videos way ahead. A lot of my videos are going to start being in a pattern where they're way ahead, filmed ahead. But all that notwithstanding, what is this about? Now, if you follow Riley Sager, you might have seen Home Before Dark, okay? Or Survive the Night. Now, I have read all of his books so far. They are Survive the Night, Lock Every Door, Final Girls, The Last Time I Lied, and Home Before Dark. Now, not in that order. Those are just his books. Now, Home Before Dark threw me. Well, guess what? I was not prepared for The House Across the Lake. I was not prepared for it. As a matter of fact, when I made my weekly wrap-up video, I said I didn't know how I was going to approach this review, and I'm completely winging it now. But I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to give this lady, her name is Marcy Ann. I won't give you her last name, but her name is Marcy Ann, and in one of my groups that I am part of on Facebook, a book discussion group, I want to read you her percentages because they are going to help me make this book review. She said 20% into it, I'm bored with a vomit icon. 50% into it, I'm still bored with a, straight line icon. 70% into it, should I just DNF it because I'm still bored with this emoji. 75% into it, just 5 percentages later. OMG, what happened? Head explosion emoji. Now, I said I wasn't going to tell you her name, but I just want to show you what I'm reading from. Okay? This young lady got into my head. She's making it possible for me to make this video because I feel exactly the way she does. Does my percentages match, or do my percentages match hers? I can't say they match exactly, but they sure go in the right direction. Now, Riley Sager is making a name for himself. And like I said, I have read all of his books. In fact, I just want to go over to him in my Goodreads to see how many of them I reviewed. And I believe I've only reviewed maybe 2 because I came into reviewing after he started writing. Oh, actually, no. I take that back. I have reviewed 4 of his books. So let's just entertain ourselves for a minute. For The Last Time I Lied, I gave it 4.5 stars. For Lock Every Door, I gave it 5 stars. For Home Before Dark, I gave it 4 stars. Survive the Night, I also gave that one 4 stars. And then this one, The House Across the Lake, and I did read his first book, Final Girls, but I didn't review it. So before we go into The House Across the Lake, I want to tell you my thoughts on Home Before Dark. Because I typed on May 23rd, 2020, a year ago, I typed, this was an exciting arc for me to get. I wasn't prepared to be totally freaked out, however. That's what I wrote a year ago. Okay? Super long review, like 10, 12 paragraphs. The last paragraph in this, and I'm going to link it in the description below because I don't give spoilers. I don't care if my review is 1 paragraph or 15. I'm still not going to give you any spoilers. But for that book, I said, this thrilling, albeit creepy read by Riley Sager definitely kept me on the edge of my seat. And the conclusion literally knocked my socks off. Okay? So, that's how I felt about Home Before Dark a year ago. Well, what about this one? The House Across the Lake. I'm going to let that truck go by. Marcianne couldn't have done it better. I'll show you that one more time. So, what's this book about? This book is about Casey Fletcher. She's a new widow, and she has gone to her cabin on the lake to escape the paparazzi. Her mother has insisted that she get away and hide. Why? Well, she's an actress and she's had a lot of bad press. On the set of her latest, I don't remember if it was a film or whatever, but on her latest set, she showed up drunk and was fired right on the spot. It could have been a play, could have been a movie, but she was fired right on the spot. So her mom's like, get away, whatever. So she goes, and she has two things keeping her company. She has a pair of binoculars. I should have grabbed the binoculars before I made this video. She has a pair of binoculars. And the other thing I can't grab. She had tons of liquor. Lots of bottles of liquor. There's not a drop of liquor in this house. We're not drinkers. So, she has liquor and she has binoculars. But she has something else. She has neighbors across the lake. With these neighbors across the lake, Rear Window, Jimmy Stewart. What is she doing with the binoculars? Looking through those windows. Ooh, really? Really? Oh my God. That's what she's doing. Now, the people that she's spying on aren't 100% strangers to her. She met them briefly. In fact, the wife, Catherine, it's a husband and wife named Catherine and Tom. The wife, Catherine, was drowning, and Casey saved her life on the lake. So she, just a wee bit, knew her neighbors. She saved Catherine's life, and she met Catherine and her husband, Tom, officially. But then she finds out that these people aren't happy. And she has two ways that she found out that they weren't happy. The first way is by spying on them with those binoculars. The second way is just the interchange that she experienced when they came to her house one day. And they came to the house under a simple premise of when Casey saved Catherine's life. I think she either gave her sweater or her jacket, and Catherine brought it back. And that's how she met them. Anyway, they get back in their boat and they sail right back, row right back to the side of the lake. That should be the end of things, right? Definitely not. Definitely not. So, she's spying. Casey's spying. One day, though, she's looking through, and Catherine is nowhere to be found. She's not in that room. She's not in that room. She's not in that room. Well, where's Catherine? Well, she's determined to find out. In fact, that spying leads her to believe that Tom did something to Catherine. Now you're reading this book, right? And you're like, oh, get to the point. I'm sorry, Riley Sager, but get to the point. This book is going to get three or 4 stars. It's definitely not going to get 5. Well, let me tell you. When you hear this expression, there were twists and turns that really blew my mind. How many times do you hear that in book reviews? Over and over and over and over again. On my part. And on many other people's parts. So there was a twist in this book that totally shook me. And I don't read book reviews before I compose my video review or even my written review. But what I did do is I went to Goodreads to see what shelves. With Goodreads, you have shelves. You have read or want to read or DNF or the genre. You have all these shelves. So I went to Goodreads to see how people shelved this book. And nobody shelved the book that would indicate that huge twist. So guess what? I'm not going to tell you. Of course I wouldn't tell you what the twist was, but I won't even tell you what none of these other reviewers have done, and I applaud them for it, is they did not shelve this in a certain spot. All I'm going to say on that. So, was it worth reading? Oh, definitely. Definitely, because once I attach myself to certain authors, it's my intent to read everything they wrote. Like, I'll give you a good example, Kristen Hanna. I think I have read everything she wrote so far. I might be 1 or 2 books shy, but there's certain authors you want to read everything they write. Well, remember when I read Survive the Night last year, I was blown away, okay? So a year later, when this book came up on NetGalley a couple months before release date, I mean, I've had it for a good month, but I just got to it yesterday. I was excited. Now, there's a trigger, a possible trigger that I'm going to share. Is our protagonist, Casey, was a die-hard alcoholic. She, I don't know, oh, I took my coffee cup in the kitchen already. I was going to use that as a prop. She didn't even, we're going to say these drills is a shot glass. Okay, this is a shot glass. She had a decision to make, shot. She wanted to look through her binoculars, shot. She wanted to talk to her neighbor, shot. Shot, shot, shot. Everything was accompanied by a shot. Yeah, that's our girl there. So if alcohol is a trigger point for you, then this is not the book for you. Is addiction the backbone of this book? No. Is it a part of this book? Yes. Why? It's called numbing, self-medicating. Our heroine, our protagonist, Casey, is self-medicating. And you will find out if you read this book as to why. So, that's all I'm going to say. I am not going to say anything else. The only problem I have right now is that you're going to have to wait 6 weeks before you even see this video. Because I'm not going to release the video until you can buy the book. And there you have it. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.